So Kim, tell everybody how painless this is. Like, are you feeling anything?
It really doesn't feel like much of anything. For a woman, it kind of feels like, you know, you're a little bit bloated, maybe like you're on your period. A little, you know, like when the water fills up, it's just a small, like, just full filling.
Yeah.
It's not really painful, though.
No?
There's no pain.
None.
No.
Yeah.
It's no big deal.
Here's another good release. And we've got some, looks like either a tomato skin or a red pepper skin. You see a lot of those. And almonds, some almond skins. Yeah.
We can really identify that stuff. There's something swimming the other way.
Was that corn? Or was that buckwheat?
Yeah, no, it wasn't corn. It had to be buckwheat, so I haven't had any corn.
What swims the other way? Salmon?
Salmon, yeah.
I haven't had any of that.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, more. Is it tomato skins? Is that what
Well,
we're
I had
seeing?
some little cherry tomatoes.
Okay, that's it then. Okay, so it's the cherry tomato skins we're seeing, and those never digest.
Okay.
Nice release here.
Gotta
Very
chew
good.
those up.
Yeah. Look at her go.
Yay, baby.
Very nice.
Nice and loose.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Very easy. Very easy. Yeah. Now, what's the, you know, when you talk about colonics, you know, what are the biggest questions that people ask you?
Most people are just generally, they're so afraid of putting anything up their butt.
They are.
They're just so afraid of putting anything, a tube of anything. They feel it's very invasive.
Don't you think they're more embarrassed than anything else?
Yeah.
Maybe embarrassed and just
Absolutely.
don't understand it. So, you know, they don't understand about the colon and how it works in the body. So that and that's it. You know, the idea, oh, I'm not putting anything up my butt. I'm like, oh, you don't understand. It's part of your body. You know,
It only goes in like that much.
Yeah.
It's not a big... On the diagram, this is the large intestine, this is the bottom end of the body, and if the speculum is sitting in here, we're simply just pushing water just very gently up. This would be the left side of the body to the rib, right there, and then across, and then back down to the right hip, where the small intestine starts. It's real easy. See, so there you go, raw food makes everything better,
Yes, it does.
doesn't it?
Yay, go raw.
Go raw.
What's with women, man? I don't know.
You
Is
know,
there
there's a
something-
reason, yeah.
Yeah.
Women, well, first of all, we eat less.
Okay.
Okay. Second of all, we eat sparingly. We eat a lot of salads, and just salad. Like everybody thinks salad is so healthy, and it is, but there's not enough nutrition in just salad. That's where raw comes in because you get more nutrition. So in a
Avocados.
general American diet, women eat a lot of just salad and chicken, and that's just not enough to push stuff through the system. Also, I guess the way we're brought up to be reserved, hold on, and to be quiet, and also a lot of women tend to be a little bit more neurotic because of the way we're raised. There's a lot of pressure put on women. So we tend to suppress a lot because we have a lot of pressure.
And I know when a person's a little bit more stressed, they tense.
They tense up, absolutely. Men are like children. And they just have fun. Life is just fun, and women have to kind of hold everything together.
Yeah.
And we have a lot of responsibility, and we, you know, multitasking and getting stuff done, and so it's just harder for us. Yeah.
So it comes really almost like back to almost like an emotional thing in a sense.
Oh, for sure. Your colon is directly linked to
Like, I gotta be romanced, you know what I mean? Put up some low lights, some candles, you know, really get me in the mood to make that baby move. Put a little perfume down there.
Hey, speaking of, have you heard of that product? It's a fabulous product. Everybody needs to get this. It's called Just a Drop.
No.
Okay, they're essential oils. You can order them online, justadrop.com, I think it is. And you get these little tiny vials or little packages that you tear open almost like a ketchup or a vinegar thing. It's essential oils of peppermint and a whole bunch of other stuff. You put one drop into the toilet just before you have a number 2. Absorbs all the smell. It creates a coat, and you will not smell anything.
Interestingly enough,
It's
I've
a
actually
great
put
product.
essential oil in my toilet water before.
It does work. It really works.
Wow.
It really does. The product's phenomenal. Justadrop.com, I think it is. Yeah. Yeah. Fabulous product. The first colonic I ever had after being on the table for 10 or 15 minutes, I just burst into tears, and I was absolutely dumbfounded. And I sort of looked at my therapist and shrugged my shoulders, and she said, "Oh, it's okay, dear. You're just having an emotional release." And it did. It was bizarre. It just came out of left field, out of absolutely nowhere.
Wow.
Yeah, and sometimes I see that on the table. People release, and oftentimes in this setting, you know, a lot of people trust me enough that they will actually divulge a lot. You know, they don't have anybody to talk to, and they're releasing, and they just want to purge on every level emotionally. And I hear a lot of very personal things from people, you know, in this session. Yeah.
Getting pretty cleaned
Kind
out
of a
now.
therapist too.
Yeah.
A plumber slash therapist.
Therapist,
Slash
yeah.
massage.
Yeah.
Just multi-talented.
Slash hippie
We
chick.
got a little bit coming
Slash
out there yet.
Because I go to bed early.
It's all right.
So we just have like little residue, but she's pretty clean now. She
Yeah.
may have another release. We can definitely keep going, but I doubt it. I actually, okay, and I've been doing colonics for 12 years, and I've worked on thousands and thousands of people. I can't even, I've lost count. And I worked on a young girl who unfortunately was addicted to drugs, to heavy drugs, and she was trying to get off, and she was going through a detox program, very unhealthy, a lot of, fast food and all sorts of stuff. And I've never seen anything like it, but she actually blew the tube out of her body, and we did see a stool. It was solid. It was about this big. How it came out of her body, I don't know, by about this long. And when I wrapped it up to throw it away, it must have weighed
5 pounds.
maybe not quite, but it was getting up there.
Wow,
I've
and
never,
it was
in all my years
hard.
of doing hard, I couldn't even, break it
Wow.
out. It was, and she was writhing in pain. She eliminated that, and it was not easy for her. She couldn't
imagine.
believe it.
You should have wrapped up in a little blanket and
Like having a
Oh no, that
child.
thing dumpster.
yeah.
Like having a child.
But that's what the body will hold and house, and it's really, the human body can be really quite amazing, and what it tolerates, but it's also quite sad, what we put in
Yes.
it and what we allow for it
Yeah.
to house.
Yeah,
It's
the most
terrible.
amazing thing that I saw was when you showed that photograph. I have to get that on camera. That picture, the book with the that big colon. That blew Maria away.
Oh,
That
yeah.
made her cry.
So this is a picture of a human colon, and just for the camera, for people to know, the colon is this size. It's about a 2-inch diameter tube. This is the large intestine. This is how big it's supposed to be. But because it's a muscle, it will expand to house all the garbage we put in it. And here's a picture, it's an autopsy picture of a megacolon, and I don't know if you can see that. Can you see that?
Oh,
that big
yes.
brown, that large thing, that's the large intestine. That must be,
That right there.
that
the big
must
thing
be
at the
what,
bottom.
like
Yeah.
18 inches in diameter.
Man.
And that's not a rarity, that's common. Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
it's pretty
Yeah,
sad.
that is common.
It's
very
kind of
common.
like, am I correct when I said like we did the workshop? Men that have the really extended tummies, they're really thin everywhere else. It gets really hard bellies.
Yep.
That's their colon.
That's a colon, that's a megacolon, but also I worked on a woman she was stunningly beautiful in every which way. She had perfect skin, white teeth, beautiful shiny white eyes, perfectly flat belly. The woman was a workaholic.
Really?
She had a bowel movement once a month.
What?
Flat belly. This is how I explain it, is that food has water. In the colon, once the stool goes in there, your colon quickly starts to absorb water. It wants to get as much water out of that stool, so you get instead of a watery mass, you get a formed stool. But it sits in there so long that it pulls out so much water that it literally shrinks and dehydrates and gets sucked up against the colon wall.
Wow.
So she had a lot of mass sitting in there. It was just so dehydrated. It was like a rubber, like car tire, that hard rubber. So for her, if she ever does, I tried to get her to do a cleanse and a good detox. She
Yeah.
just didn't get it.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
What a bummer.
What a bummer.
Then you just say, well, when something happens, and come here and we'll do the best we can to repair it.
Exactly,
That's all
yeah.
you
So
can
just
do.
because you have a flat stomach is basically saying it doesn't mean you're not full of
You
poop.
know, I know a lady that
Yeah.
is as thin as Kim,
Yeah,
and she goes once a week
yeah,
and
exactly.
eats big meals
Yeah,
and stuff.
exactly, yeah. The body is amazing at what it will tolerate. And your body gets to a point where it will tolerate a lot, and it becomes normal for you. But I think Kim's looking really good here. We're
Yeah.
about to stop. And we're
Mhm.
going to disconnect her, and we're going to give her some privacy getting to the
Okay.
bathroom.
Say goodbye, Kim.
Yeah.
Bye.
It's been fun. Inflow tubing.
All right, it's Dave's turn.
Yes,
Say
it
hello,
is.
Dave.
Yeah.
He's on the table.
Yo, bro.
Da-da-da-da-da-da.
Outflow
Ball
tubing.
chicka ball ball.
I kind of like the thrill.
There we go.
The thrill of defeating the bow.
And turn around your back the way we started.
Okay.
Put underneath, yeah, for and down. Perfect. You know, it's funny when people come in and they say, well, how often should I have a colonic? About once a year? I'm like, oh, please. Probably once a month. You
Once
know,
a
on
month.
average.